I'm Raj Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, and I'm handling the course on farm machinery and power, and the course code is U18 FMP 211. And the topic that we are going to discuss is about the secondary tillage implement. So why for these secondary tillage implements is used? So for an intercultural operation like weeding, in order to prepare your land, so these implements are used. And so most of the secondary tillage implements are harrows, and this is used for land preparation and the land farming equipment, just like a bun farmer, furrower, and the rotavator. So for puddling and for puddling, or else to prepare a wetland for cultivation, for in order to plant a rice, or else nursery, or else paddy seedlings, these rotavators are used, and the wetland equipments and puddlers, the manure tramplers. So in order to incorporate any manures in the field, so these manure tramplers are used, and the cage wheels. So these are all the implements which is used. So why for the secondary tillage? So what is meant by secondary tillage means? So it is used to prepare, create a proper soil till for seeding and the planting operation, and it has to condition the soil in order to meet the different tillage objectives of the farm. And the types of the harrows, cultivators, levelers, clod crushers, and other similar implements are used here. And it is done on the surface of the soil form. And main advantages, it is used to consume less power per unit area when compared to the primary tillage equipment. So because of the power consumption is certainly minimized when we are using these secondary tillage implements. And what are all the objectives that we are going to discuss in these lectures? And first one objective is about this, it helps to pulverize the soil. Why for it is used is, it is helps to pulverize the soil. At the same time, it is used to destroy the grasses and the seeds which is present in the seeds, and it helps to cut the crop residues in order to mix them with the top of the soils. And at the same time, it is helps to break the clods, and it is used to make the surface uniform, and the same time it is used to make the surface as a leveled one. And harrows, which is used to cut the soil at the shallow depth for the smoothing and pulverizing the soil, as well as it is used to cut the weeds and to mix the soil with the materials. So example of these harrows are disc harrow, spike tooth harrow, spring harrow, acme harrow, triangular harrow, blade harrow, kuntaka, and reciprocating power harrow. So these are all the harrows which is available. But so there are prime advantages of using, if we are taking a disc harrow means, so if it is mostly used for grassy fields. And in case of spring harrows means, it must be useful for an stony or stumpy fields. So every harrows have the certain advantages. So based on our constraints, we have to use these types of harrows. And for an harrows, it is classified into three major types. One is disc, blade, and the drag harrows. And in case of drag harrows, there are two types. One is spike tooth harrows and springtime harrows. So this is the diagrammic, the pictorial representation of this disc harrows, and it is consist of a number of the disc which is attached to a shaft which is known to be the gang, and which is this disc harrows are two types. One is single action type and another one is double action type. And this single action type means here the harrows which consist of the two gangs which is placed at end to end, and each which will throw the soils in the opposite direction. In case of double action disc harrows means, it consists of one or more gangs in which one gang has to follow the another one. And the offset disc harrows, so this consists of an disc harrows which is attached in the tandem, which is capable of being offset to this other side and of the center of this line of the pull. And this tandem disc harrow, which will consist of the four gangs, and each gangs will be angled in the opposite direction. So this is the disc harrows. So this one is known to be the gang, and this one is the single action disc harrows. And this is also a single action disc harrows. And so this one is the single action type. And in case of double action type, it consists of two harrows, two sets of the harrows, which is followed one behind the another. So in case of offset disc harrows, this is attached in the tandem direction. And this is the tandem disc harrows, and this is a offset disc harrow. So one is attached to the another in the tandem direction. And these are all the types of these harrows. And this is the double action disc harrows. And this is a single action disc harrows, and this one is the offset disc harrows, and this is the tandem or double offset disc harrows. And disc harrows mainly consist of a disc and the gang, which is a shaft in which these discs are attached, and the gang bolt which helps to tighten or else which helps to position the gangs, and the gang central lever. So in order to adjust the gang, this gang central lever is used, and the spool or arbor or bolt spacer which is used to place the disc in the certain at the certain spacing levels, and the bearings is used here, and the transport wheel. So when the disc harrows is not functioning, so if in order to lift this disc from one place to the another, this transport wheel is used here, and the scraper. So to remove any dirt particle which is attached to this disc can be removed by using the scraper type material, and the weighing box. So in order to provide the additional weight, this weight box is used here. And so this is about the disc harrows. And the disc, so it is a circular rotating part, and the gang, it is a shaft in which it is attached, and the gang bolt or arbor bolt. So in order to fix this gang bolt is used. So in order to control the position of this gang can be controlled by using the gang control lever, and the spool or the spacer, so in which it is mounted on the gang between the two discs, so prevent the lateral movement of the disc. So in order to prevent the lateral movement, and it will helps the fixed spacing between these gangs, and the bearings to prevent the end thrust, and the transport wheel to helps to transport and movement from one place to the another. So weight box to put an additional weight. So what are all the adjustments that we can make in the case of in order to obtain the higher penetration? So if you are using these disc harrows for a field operation and for an higher penetration, so if you want to have an harrows depth of penetration should be higher, means what are all the adjustment that should be made is, so we can increase the disc angle, we can provide the additional weight, and we can lower the hitch point, so attaching point, and by using the sharp edges of this disc of smaller diameter, and the loss is the concavity, and it is used if you are using this disc as an optimum speed, and these are all the adjustment that we can make while using these disc harrows. And the spike tooth harrows, so it consists of n number of the spikes which is attached here, and peg tape the teeth or a triangle in the triangular frames. The teeth must be provided here. So it is used to break the clods, and the principle is it is used to smoothen and level the soil. And this may be of a rigid or flexible type. And animal down spike tooth harrow is normally of a rigid type. And there may be or may not be the provision of changing the angles. And in case of the spring harrows, so it consists of the flexible teeth. Mainly, what is the use of the spring harrow is, so if you are running these spring harrows in a stony or stumpy field, means, so if any obstruction like stone is there, means, so these harrows will get uplifted, so the damage might be minimized. So due to this spring action, it is getting lifted. So that is the use of these harrows. And it helps to pulverize the soil. At the same time, it is used to kill the weeds also. It consists of the teeth, balls, tooth bar, frame, and the reverse and the links. And the teeth are fastened by the tooth bar by means of the tooth clamps. And these are also here lever is also provided in order to adjust the depth of the operation. And the draft hook on every corner section of this hitching mechanism. And next comes, it is an Acme harrows. So it consists of the curved knife is provided here. So Acme means curved knife harrows. So the best part is these knife section that will helps to break the soils and that crushes the clods. And main advantage is it helps to promote the good pulverization, and it is also good for mulching purpose also. So the process of mulching means the incorporating the certain green manure crops with this field is known as the mulching. And patella and wooden plank, which is used for smoothing, at the same time crushing the weeds, and same time it is used to break the clods, packing and the leveling the soils, and also removes the weeds also. And it is made up of the wooden plank with the number of the curved hooks and the bolted to the seal, and it is fixed in an angle position at the rear side of the plank, and the cutting edge level, and it will pack the soils and the curved hooks. So patella, which consists of a curved hooks. So what happens is when something is get interrupted in the case of curved hooks means it get uplifted. So at the same time it can able to remove the weeds. And the triangular harrow, it consists of a triangular frame. It is made up of wood, and it consists of the pointed spikes which are fixed. So it consists of the teeth of the spikes, which is always fixed. It cannot be adjustable. And the blade harrow, so it consists of one or more blades which is attached to the beam of the frame, and it is used for shallow working operation, and it is used to prepare the seed beds, mostly in the case of clayey soils. So normally these blade type of harrows, which is used for clayey soils only, and it will works like a sweep, and it moves the top surface of the soil without inversion. And this is about the blade harrows. So this is the blade one, and this performs these harrowing operations, weed removing operations. And guntaka, and this is an important type of the blade harrows, and it consists of an one or more blades which is attached to the frame or the beam. So this is a modification, just they have attached one or more blades which is these frames, and it is used for shallow working operation, and same time it is used to prepare the seed beds, mostly in the case of clayey soils only. And the function of this bakar and the guntaka is always same. And reciprocating power arrows, so which is fitted with the rigid tines, and it is driven by the power takeoff in the reciprocating direction. And mainly it is used for rotary motions as the machine moves forward. So rotary motion means traverse motion, and reciprocating means to and fro motion. So it will move forward and the backward. And the power tiller harrow is a rear mounted type, reciprocating comb type harrow. So this is the image diagramic representation of these harrows, and it consists of a two oscillating arm with the staggered pegs. So two sets of these, it will consist of a slider clank mechanism that will provide the power from the power tiller to the PTO universal joints, and the bevel gear reduction box to these arms, and the eccentric embedded flywheel which will actuate the pitman mechanisms. So it consists of the, so this one consists of the two arms, and hence the implement is a dynamic and balanced, and this vibration is about 200 mm, and the frequency is about 400 cycles per minute, and the transport wheel is provided. And the oscillating pegs are there. So the pegs will enter into the soil, and at the same time it will break the clods and the pulverize the soil. And the width of the harrow is about 1500 mm, and the power reduction of this bevel gear transmission, which is in the range of 1:2, and this cost is around 3400, and the field capacity is about 0.5 hectare per day. And this is about the blade harrows. So sorry, this one is about the power harrow. Sorry, this one is the power harrows, and sorry, it is the reciprocating harrows, power providing reciprocating harrows. And this is it is a rotating one, and the bun former. So in a field, if you want to form a bun, ridges and the furrows, these bun formers is used. So it is used for making the buns. So main purpose of this using these bun is to hold the soil, thereby we can able to conserve the moisture. And the size of this bun former is made by measuring this maximum horizontal between the two forming boards. And the bun former consists of a forming boards, beam and the handle. And this is a forming board. So this forming board which helps to gather the soil, and it has the thickness of the material specification is about 1.6 mm for the light and 2 mm for medium and the heavy soils. And these are attached to the supports, and beam, it will transmit the pull of the animals to the forming boards, and it is always made up of a hardwood. And the handle, which is useful for controlling the movement of one farmer. Scoop, so in order, it is used in the case of forming a ditches or drain over a short distance, and it consists of the blade, which is made up of light carbon steel, and soil trough in which the blade is riveted, bolted, or through the soil trough, and it is made up of the mild steel, and it consists of the two handles for inserting the wooden handles, and the hitching loop. So it is fitted to this. So it is the end of the loop are fitted to this side of the strap, and it is normally made up of a mild steel round, and the handles, which is made up of the timber of mild steel plate, which is used for the control movement of back ripper, and the ridger, which is used for sowing, required for sowing root crop seeds, and the plant in the case of well tilted soils, and it is used for forming the field or channels, and earthing up and other similar operation. And the ridger is just also known as the ridge plows or double moldboard plow. And it consists of the V-shaped wedges, and which is fitted to the frogs. And the nose or the tips of this shaft penetrate to the soil or the earth. Moldboard plow generally lift inward or cast aside the soil, forming a deep channels and the ridges of required sizes. And the ridger consists of a beam, clevics, frogs, handles, share, and the sliding share. So puddler, it is an implement used for churning the soil with the water, and it is normally used for paddy field filled with the standing water. So, and it is used to break the clots, and at the same time it is used to break the churns also. And the purpose of the puddling is to reduce the leaching of this water, and to decrease the percolation of the water. And percolation means deep infiltration of this water. So as the water infiltrate into the field, it is known to be the percolation. And to kill the weeds by decomposition, and to facilitate the transplantation of these paddy seedlings and making the soil after. So this is the rotary puddler. The puddling is done to the depth of 5 to 10 centimeter depth, and it is having the 4 straight plates and the paddles, which is mounted on the flange blades, or a blade mounted to an axle, and the axle is consists of a puddling units, which is fitly mounted on the 2 bears, which is bearings fitted on this frame or the metal wood, and the weight of the puddler is normally about 30 to 40 kg. And the puddler, which consists of the frame and the puddling unit, metal cross beam, axle, and the beam. So frame, which consists of the front and the rear side of this piece, are mounted on the steel or the wood, and the puddling unit made up of mild steel, and it is fixed to the cross beams. And the metal beam, which is used to fix the blade in the fixed position, and axle, which consists of a mild steel bar of 25 mm diameter, and the beam, which is normally made up of an wood, which is placed in the frame with the help of the brazier, and the other end, which is fitted to the hitch of the animals. And the helical blade puddler, so central axis with the radial arms, which are fixed at both the ends at the center. So it consists of 6 to 8 blades and 5 centimeter helically bent, and these fixed radically by the welding, and it helps to continuously slices the soils with the weeds, and cut the weeds or buried in the soil for decomposition. Normally it is used for one or two initial ploughing, and the main frame and the beams are normally made up of wood, and it consists of it having the continuous contact between the blade and the soil, which is used to give an uniform load to the neck of the animal. Thereby, so intermittent jerk can be minimized, and it is used for the better slicing of the soil, and the coverage will be 0.6 hectare per day, and the cost is around 1,200. So this one is the puddler. and the puddling unit with a full cage wheel. So the cage wheel normally it is used to mix the soil when it is in the wet condition, and the normally full cage wheel must be used, and especially when the water is deep welling, the full cage wheels are used. So normally it will give a good traction in the case of wet soil, and it will helps to mix the soil optimally. So this is a cage wheel, and this is used in the wet condition. And the leveler which is used to level the land, which is used to level the land. Main objective is it is used in the efficient application of irrigation water, and it is used to remove the subsurface drainage, and it is used to minimize the erosion of the soil, and it will helps to increase the conservation of this rainwater, especially in the case of dry lands, and it is used to provide an adequate field site and the even topography of the land. So if you want to prevent the stagnation of this water in the field, this leveler is used, because it will level the land so that water won't be stagnant in the land. So this is the leveler. And the green manure trampler. So if you want to incorporate the green manure in the field, it is used. So it won't invert the soil. At the same time, it is used to trample and brush the green manure in the field. It is consists of a slat type and the disc types. So slat type, in the radial arrangement, the slats are fixed to the central axis with the supporting disc. And in the disc type, number of the flat discs are fitted to the central axis. So this is about the green manure trampler. So this is the radial thing, and this is a flat type. And the disc one, so disc, so normally it is made up of an so disc type, it is used for cutting and the trampling the green manure. Disc is used for harden the steel, and this number of the disc is made up of the hardened. So number of the disc types are mounted on the rotating shaft. So the disc will depends upon number of the disc will depends upon the size of the tramplers, and the bearings will be fitted here. So to reduce the bearings will be housed on the wooden framework, and the operation of this sharp cutting edge of the disc, which will helps to cut the plant, and simultaneously it will bury the soil. And the slat type, and it consists of the four or five slide blades which is mounted on the periphery of the supporting disc, and it will be fixed in the position with the help of the flanges, and the flanges are fixed to an axle mechanism, and these axle will rest on the bearings which will rotate freely. So these bearings are housed in a wooden or iron framework mechanism. So it will improve the sharp cutting edge of these blades, and the cuts the plants and buries in the soil. And the wooden handle is attached to the handle support, so end of the which is attached to the frame. So it consists of next one, cultivator, which is consist of the tines or the disc which is used between the crop rows, mainly used for seedbed preparation. So disc cultivator means the cultivator which is fixed with the disc, and the rotary cultivator, so it is cultivator which is fixed with the tines or the blades which is mounted on a rotating shaft. So this is the so this is the tines in which it is attached to the rotating shaft. And this is one is a tine cultivator which is having a shovels which will stir the soil and break the clods, and the tine is fitted on the cultivator, and it will help to comb the soil deeply into the field, and it will perform an intermediate plough and the harrows. Destruction of this, it is a primary function of this cultivator. So this is a cultivator. So intercultural operation mainly used to destroy the weeds and aerate the soil for the proper growth of the crops and conserve the moisture. At the same time, it will provide the sowing attachment. Sow the seeds for the sowing attachment. If you are attaching a sowing attaching implements, it will help to sow the seeds also. And it will help to prevent the surface evaporation and rapid infiltration of the soil. Next one is animal drawn and the tractor drawn. If the power supply is from an implement from the source of this tractor, it is known to be the tractor drawn, and the power supply from an animal which is known to be the animal drawn. So trailed means mounted type means it will be mounted with the tractor, so we can't be able to remove it. Okay, and the tractor drawn with the mounted is there. And this trail type, which is consist of in cross members, which is fixed with the tines. And it consists of the forward end of the cultivator and the hitting attachment, and mainly used in the cultivator only. It will be operated both wheel so that the draft remains uniform. And this height of the hitch must be adjusted so that the main frame remains horizontal over the frame. So, and this is the each row which will allow the free passage of water. And this depth of the working is set roughly by adjusting the time with the clamps. And these tines are damaged due to the turning of the implement at the headland without lifting it. So normally the cash should be taken up while lifting this implement. And this mounted type means so it will be fitted with this hydraulic lever and operated with the mounted type. And it is normally it is used to cut the soils, and the different types of shovels and the sheets will be available. So it consists of a rectangular frame which is will be attached mounted to this tractor with this 3-point linkage of this tractor, and the cross member this will carry the trains in the two staggered line. And the importance is single point shovel, double point shovel, and the spearhead shovels. Sweep. So in case of sweep, full sweep, half sweep, and the furrover. So cultivator with the spring load tines, so that spring loaded tines have the advantages. If any obstruction, it will get lifted up. That's it. So each tine is provided with the coil spring. So it should be ensured to minimum movement except when an obstacle is encountered here. And the spring will be operated with the operated when the pines strike the roots or the large stone by allowing it to ride over the obstruction. That's why it helps to prevent the damage. So on passing over the obstruction, the time will automatically rest, and work will continue without any interruptions. And it will consist of a pair of gauge wheel which is provided in order to control the depth of the operation. And this recommendation for soil which is embedded with the stones and the stumps. And these tines are made up of hard carbon steel, and it is attached with the proper alignment on the main frame. So it is consist of the cultivator with the 7, 9, and 11, and 13 or more. So cultivator with the rigid tines, so it won't lift up or it won't deflect during the working conditions. And it consists of the bolt which is fitted with an angle and the base which is fastened by the main bars by the steady clamps and the bows. And spacing can be simply changes by slackening the bolts. And it consists of the pair of gauge wheel in order to control the depth of the operation. And the rigid tines which are mounted on the front of this toolbar, and the spacing between the tine can be easily adjusted without any tines getting this choked on this stubbles of the previous crop. So this one is the duckfoot cultivator. So these cultivators are mainly used for ploughing only, ploughing operation. So normally it is used to plough the weeds. So it will helps to destruct the weeds. At the same time, it will helps to improve the moisture condition of the soil. So sorry, it will helps to retention of the. It will helps to improve the retention condition of this moisture in the soil. So it will consist of a steel frame with the rigid tines in which the sweep will be attached. So it is attached to the tractor, the 3-point hitch mechanism, and this is attached to the high carbon. This is normally made from high carbon steel. So number of the sweep can be reduced, or this can be adjusted according to this adjustment. And the cultivator is normally about 225 centimeter long. So this whole we're going to discuss about what we have learned so far. So tillage operation is followed by a primary tillage, which are performed to create a better soil for seeding and planting, or known to be the secondary tillage. So these are always lighter and finer operation. So the power consumption is less when compared to this primary tillage operation equipments. These can be performed in the soil after the primary tillage operation. And these secondary tillage consist of conditioning the soil in order to meet a different tillage objectives. So the implements generally used for secondary tillage are called as secondary tillage implements. And these secondary tillage operation do not causes much soil inversion, and also shifting of the soil from one place to another. So we won't have more soil inversion. So we can't able to shift the soil from one place to the another. So these operation which will consume less power per unit area when compared to this primary tillage operations.
The secondary tillage is an stirring soil at a shallow depth. So it is consist of an cutting tool. Either it will vibrates or oscillates. So their primary objective is to reduce the draft to improve the overall energy utilization efficiency. So which will helps to break the soil and provide a control over the degree of pulverization. So these implement which will reduce the draft as much so overall 50 to 70% in compared with the non-oscillating tool. So as a result, we can use a less power consumption and the energy usage efficiency is also certainly less. And the implements which is used to reduce the draft of this implement with the non-oscillating tools. And overall, so in the case of spring-loaded tines, which is used to, which is normally used in the case of stony and stubborn speeds. So